I am successful. I look for and find opportunities where others see nothing. I am a lifetime learner. I am solution focused. I see only solutions. I am a solution. Welcome to the Be Transformed Tribe. I'm the catalyst and my name is Lanre Olusola. And this is your dual go-to space for very practical, spirit and mind transforming conversations that empower you to overcome all of life's biggest challenges. We're talking about one of the most profound challenges in life, self-sabotage, that stops you from succeeding. So together tonight, it's about transformation of your mind. It's about empowerment of your spirit. It's about activating you to become all that you were created to be. Our topic is breaking self-sabotaging patterns that kill momentum. So I've got a few questions for you. Why do smart, gifted, very spiritual, religious, prayerful people, why do they keep stopping themselves right when momentum and success is peeping and showing up? Why? Is it bad luck? Is it people from the village? Is it laziness? Is it generational curses? Is it a lack of faith? What is it? It's important that we recognize that it's something that is quiet, something that is subtle, but something that is very, very dangerous. It is called self-sabotage. And today, I'm going to be exposing you, Mr. Self-Sabotage. So, I thought deeply about how to get this conversation going. And I began to put myself in the place of people that are, struggling with success, people that are struggling with consistent momentum. And I discovered that there will be 5 critical questions that they'll be asking themselves. So I've prepared those 5 different questions. I mean, as a coach, as a therapist, as a psychotherapist, I've heard many people ask these questions. A lot of pastors that I've worked with have asked me these questions on behalf of people. A lot of leaders that I coach, executives that I coach, have had these conversations with me. So what are the 5 most common questions that people have asked themselves? And I'm going to ask you those questions tonight. That's right. Why do you feel stuck just when you are at the precipice of breakthrough? Why do you feel stuck just at the precipice of something great about to happen in your life? I'd like you to answer that question, if you can, in the chat room. A lot of people are at the precipice of something great. Yes. A lot of people are at the precipice of their breakthrough. A lot of people are at the precipice of their, success. But just at that moment, they feel stuck. They are actually stuck. Why? I want you to answer that question for me in the chat room. Thank you for responding. The second question that I have for you is, why do you lose energy when you get going? Okay, the breakthrough has happened. The opportunities have shown itself. You have started the journey. Why do you lose energy? Why do you lose energy? Quickly in the chat room, just say number 2 and then answer the question. You are on the road. You have started the journey. You are excited, then suddenly you lose energy. Why? All right, the third question for you. Is there therefore something wrong with you, or it is just a case of you being afraid? Could it be that there's something wrong with you, or it is fear? Question number 3. For you to continuously and consistently sabotage yourself, could it be that there's something wrong with you, or could it be that you're afraid? Question number 4. Why do you overthink opportunities until they pass? So the 5th question, how can you stop blocking your own destiny? I guess that's why we're here. What do you need to do to stop yourself from stopping yourself? Yes, yes. I guess that's why we're here, guys. These are not intellectual conversations. They are questions that border around your psychology, your neuroscience, your spirituality, and your identity. Self sabotage is not a behavioral problem, it is an identity safety switch, or it is an identity safety mechanism. It is an identity safety mechanism. What is self sabotage, and what is the difference between self sabotage and ordinary setbacks that we have, mishaps and lack of momentum, right? Or lack of motivation. So, self sabotage is unconscious thoughts. Self sabotage is an unconscious emotion. Self sabotage is an unconscious belief that leads to a behavior that protects you from a perceived danger. Ultimately, it destroys your progress, your growth, and your success. So, let me put it in a more simple way. Self sabotage is when your nervous system feels safer staying small than becoming powerful, staying where you were than progressing to where you desire to be or where you deserve to be. Now, research from neuroscience and psychology shows that the brain prioritizes familiarity over unfamiliar success terrains. Your brain doesn't ask, will this make me fulfilled? It asks, is this familiar? So we begin to struggle with breaking new grounds. We begin to struggle with, foraying into territories that we're unfamiliar with. Why? Because we believe that we will struggle. We feel that we will struggle. And our progress, our growth begins to feel unsafe. And anything that makes you feel unsafe, you will protect yourself against it. So let me give you an example. I had a client called Kemi. She didn't quit because she was weak. She quitted because success activated her old fears. Fear of visibility is one fear that she had. Fear of responsibility was another fear that she had. Fear of disappointment was another fear that she had. And then she capped it up with a fear of loss. Now, Kemi's issue was not lack of capacity, was not lack of competency, had absolutely nothing to do with her dream and her goal. It had everything to do with her past. She was struggling with a fear of visibility. Why? Because she had experienced a trauma when she tried to build her personal brand and go out there. Secondly, she has also suffered a setback in the past when she was given a responsibility that was far beyond her capacity to deliver. Third, she was afraid of disappointments. Why? Because when she was given that responsibility gave her serious visibility and she disappointed everybody. And then she lost that job. So she had a fear of loss. So Kemi unconsciously decided to protect herself from feeling the feeling that she felt when she felt the feeling that she experienced when she disappointed in the last scenario and she failed. But since then, she has grown. Since then, she has developed capacity. Since then, she has achieved so many things. So, sabotage is protecting wearing the costume of safety. Now, you would understand that this is not something that you are conscious about. This is not something that you are doing, because, you are doing it because you know. This is something that you are doing unconsciously. So, you will realize that it is driven by your subconscious. A setback is something that you don't have control over. So something happened externally, and then it stops you from achieving what you set out to achieve. Meanwhile, you are on the roll, you are motivated, right? You are driven, you have your goals, you are clear about where you are going, and you're on your way, right? You set the strategy, you put the plans in place, you set the timelines, and you're on the roll. Then something that is unpredictable, that is external, happens to you. That is a setback. Something that you have no control over, you fall sick. That is a setback. A family member dies. That is a setback. You suddenly lose all your money. That is a setback. It is different from what happens to you from within. Now, is it different from lack of motivation or momentum? Let me define what momentum and why momentum can scare some people a lot of times. So, momentum is sustained, aligned movement that is powered by clarity, commitment, discipline, energy, consistency, focus, and belief. Momentum is sustained, aligned movement that is powered by clarity, commitment, discipline, energy, consistency, and belief. Momentum happens when identity aligns with action. Momentum happens where emotion aligns with vision. Momentum happens when your nervous system feels safe, regulated, and in alignment and in harmony. Momentum happens when purpose feels achievable. But here's the shock: momentum often threatens our old identity. Momentum says, you cannot pretend anymore. You must become consistent. You must be disciplined. You must change. You must stay consistent. You must be focused. You must have self confidence, self esteem, self belief. Momentum sometimes feel overwhelming. Oh, momentum says you will be seen. Momentum says you must sustain this movement towards success. So for so many people, momentum is overbearing, and chaos feels safer than this consistency because momentum never stops. So if success keeps slipping through your fingers, it's not because you lack discipline. It's because your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. So when people lack momentum, when people lack motivation, it is a lack of alignment. A lack of alignment of clarity, a lack of alignment of commitment, a lack of alignment of discipline, a lack of alignment of consistency, a lack of alignment of focus, a lack of alignment of energy, a lack of alignment of belief. You consciously give up. Say, man, this thing is too tough. This thing requires too much work. I beg, I cannot come and kill myself. So lack of momentum or lack of motivation is a conscious decision that you make. Self-sabotage is an unconscious decision. Setback is an external factor. So you see the difference between self-sabotage, it is internal. Lack of momentum is a decision that almost I cannot come and kill myself because you lack full alignment. And a setback is an external intervention that stops you on your way to achieving your dreams. Wow, this is one of the reasons why I love neuroscience. I love social sciences. I love psychoanalyzing. I love psychodynamics. Why? Because, they're just variances and different dynamics of saying sometimes the same thing. So self-handicap, really and truly, right, is about consciously or unconsciously creating obstacles for yourself. So if you fail, for example, right, you have created an excuse for yourself, or you have put yourself in a position not to do what you need to do to succeed. So handicap means that -1 or -2, or there's a shortfall, or there's a skill you don't have that you know that you should have acquired, but you fail to acquire the skill. And why? Because you want to protect your ego. You sabotage your own performance. It looks like procrastination sometimes. It looks like lack of preparation sometimes. It looks like starting late so that you will achieve poor results. It looks like overcommitting sometimes, and you know that you do not have the capacity to achieve it. It looks like downplaying your abilities and your competencies. That is what we call self handicapping. And it is also because you're afraid to fail. It is also because you're afraid to succeed. You're afraid that people will judge you. What will people say? What will people think about you? Right? It's also because you have a very fragile self esteem, or you lack self esteem. You lack self confidence. You lack self worth. You lack self belief. It is also because you want to protect your old identity. And this thing costs you so much. You lose momentum. It affects your self-worth, your self-confidence, and your self-belief. It reinforces any iota of self-doubt that you have. And then it turns you into a chronic underachiever. So whether it is sabotage, or whether it is handicapping, or whether it is procrastination, whatever name we call it, it will stop you from fulfilling your destiny. It will stop you from achieving your dreams. You have to get rid of it immediately. I believe there are a few things that I need to get us to understand, before I deal with how to overcome it, how to get rid of it. The very first thing is, you know, uh, what are those behaviors that kill momentum fastest? How do you identify them? What are they? So, I'm going to be sharing with you 9 self sabotaging behaviors that kill your success, that kill your momentum the fastest first, so that you can identify it. Now, I'm going to be very confrontational. I'm going to say it as it is. You choose overthinking instead of acting. So, I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 in the chat room if this one affects you. Number one. So, how do you rate on a scale of 0 to 10? Overthinking instead of acting. Quickly in the chat room. Behaviors, 9 critical behaviors, right? Quickly, so that we can move fast. 9 critical behaviors, yes, that kill your success, that kill your dreams and your destiny and your momentum the fastest. So just write number one and put the percentage, on the scale of 0 to 10, right? 0 means that it doesn't affect you. 10 means that this is my own problem. This is my own biggest problem. Number two, procrastination disguised as preparation. You are preparing, you are preparing, but you will not go and do the thing that you are preparing to go and do. So you are using preparation as a disguise, but it is real procrastination. So number two, procrastination disguised as preparation. Number three, perfectionism that delays delivery. You want everything to be perfect and it delays delivery. Number three, perfectionism. Or if it's not perfect, you're not going to send a proposal. So if it's not perfect, you're not going to go. Yeah, number four, starting strong but refusing to stay committed and consistent. You start, but you refuse to stay committed, disciplined, and consistent. Number four, wow, you start it. You run, boom, 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 but you're not consistent, you're not committed, you're not disciplined. Number five, self doubt after you get started. You now begin to second guess yourself. Number five, you now begin to doubt yourself. You are started, you are making small progress, but you start to second guess yourself and you start to doubt yourself. Number six, fear of being seen. fear of being judged, fear of what people will say about you. Number 6, fear of being seen, fear of being judged, fear of what people will say about you. Number 7, this one is very, very important. Chronic comparison. Every time you want to do anything, you must compare yourself with this one, that one, this one, that one. Chronic comparison. What are they doing? What is that one doing? Oh, why aren't I like that? Oh, that one's better than me. Chronic comparisons. Number 8, quit. Quitting quietly without closure. You just withdraw without closure. Yes, you don't want anybody to know, but you've checked out. Yeah, you do it covertly, and you quit covertly, but you don't close the loop. Number 9, you spiritualize everything. I'm waiting for God. It's from the village. I don't know whether it's God's will. I'm waiting on God. You spiritualize your avoidance. Now, these behaviors, the interesting thing about it is they don't feel destructive. They seem reasonable, right? That's why they work against you. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Especially number 9, I'm waiting on God. Number 8, secretly, I just give up. Number 7, I compare myself too much with everybody. Chronic comparison. Number 5, self-doubt. You second guess yourself after you've started to make progress. And then you start strong, but you cannot stay consistent. Yes, these are the key ones. Ladies and gentlemen, these things, they don't feel like they will destroy you. They don't feel like they're destructive. They feel like they are reasonable. That is why they are so powerful. That is why they work against you. And they create many problems for you. Oh, yes, they create many problems for you. And what are those common problems that they create for you? Broken momentum cycles, chronic frustration and irritation, stress, loss of confidence, missed opportunities, emotional exhaustion, financial instability, relationships issues, spiritual confusion, identity crisis. When you sabotage, when you encourage these behaviors, you begin to doubt your identity. You go into identity crisis and fragmentation. You are confused spiritually. You begin to have different relationship issues. Yes, you have financial problems. You are exhausted emotionally. You miss a lot of opportunities. When they say, register for this thing now, you will not do it. You'll be procrastinating. When they say this is the time to do ABC, you will not do it. You will be second guessing yourself. You'll be over planning. You'll be overstimulated. Yes, 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 yes. The most dangerous effect is that you begin to distrust yourself. And when you don't trust yourself, everything becomes really, really hard for you. Now, when you distrust yourself in one area, you carry that distrust over into every other area. And that is the most dangerous thing because it stops you from achieving everything that you want to achieve. It creates struggles for you in several areas of your life. And whether you are intelligent, whether you are smart, whether you are an executive, whether you are a woman, whether you are a man, this thing affects all of us. Oh, yes, it affects all of us. So it is important that we look out for it. Now, going straight to for the jugular, how do you stop yourself from stopping yourself? What are those critical steps that you need to take to stop yourself from self-sabotage? So I'm going to share with you 9 steps that we need to take. And I'm going to use the acronym saboteur. SABOTEURS. Saboteurs. That's a framework that you will use that you will use to stop yourself from stopping yourself. So self-sabotage does not come from one place. It is a system that is an inner system. It is protecting different parts of you that are formed by fear, protecting different parts of you that are formed by trauma. It is protecting different parts of you that is formed by your past conditioning. It is protecting different parts of you that is formed by your past failure. So to stop self sabotage, you cannot fight those voices that you are hearing in your head. You have to simply disarm them. That's what the saboteur's framework does. The first step is S. S is the first step. Spot the saboteur. You cannot change what you cannot identify. When you go to a doctor and you say you are ill and you need treatment, what would they do first? They will run a diagnosis. What do they want to do? They want to stop, they want to spot the real problem. So if you are sabotaging yourself, you have to spot the saboteur. Oh, yes, you cannot change what you cannot identify. So the first step is identifying when the sabotage shows up. That's right. Is it just after your progress? Is it just before the completion? Is it when visibility increases? Is it when responsibility grows? Is it before you start? Identify the saboteur and when the saboteur shows up. Research in cognitive psychology calls this metacognitive awareness, the ability to observe your own thinking. That is, you think about your own thinking. Yes, it is called metacognitive awareness. Most people don't fail because they are weak. Most people fail because sabotage operates in their lives unconsciously. So, first step is S. Spot the saboteur and spot when the saboteur shows up. The second step is A. Acknowledge the protection that is giving you. Self sabotage, honestly, is not evil, it is misguided protection. Oh, yes. Every sabotaging behavior is asking a few critical questions. One very important question he asks is, what am I trying to protect myself from? Because if you do not ask yourself that question, you will not be able to stop the saboteur. Why? Because the saboteur is protecting you unconsciously from something. So you've got to ask the question, what am I trying to protect myself from? The common answers that you will get is rejection, embarrassment, disappointment, loss, abandonment. Find the answers. Oh, neuroscience confirms that the brain prioritizes safety over success. Acknowledge what the saboteur is trying to protect you from. Oftentimes, it's not about the present, it's about the past. It is trying to disarm something that happened in the past. It is no longer relevant in your present. So, acknowledge the protection. Thank the saboteur for protecting you and tell it is time for us to move on. Don't judge it, don't fight it. Identify what it's trying to protect you from. Thank it for protecting you, but let it know that you are a big girl now, you're a big boy now. The third step is B. Befriend your body. Oh my God, I love this one. Be a friend to your body. Sabotage begins in your central nervous system, not your nerve, not your mind. It starts in your body. Sabotage begins in your central nervous system, which is your body, not your mind. When momentum picks up, the body responds in different ways. When success is about to happen, when breakthroughs is about to happen, when things are happening, right? A few things happen to you. You feel some physiological responses: tight chest, restlessness, fatigue, stress, anxiety, urge. You feel the urge to procrastinate. Sometimes you oversleep. Sometimes you can't sleep. Sometimes you overeat. Sometimes you have no appetite. Sometimes it's irritable bowel syndrome. That's right. That's right. Research in somatic psychology shows that unregulated bodies cannot sustain success, meaning that your body must be regulated, your body must be brought into harmony. Before changing behavior, regulate your body. And that is where meditation, that is where exercise, that is why grounding, that is why breathing exercises, that is why being still, that is why movement, that is why earthing is so important. Because a calm, harmonious, regulated body makes aligned decisions. So you have to be a friend to your body. You have to be attuned to your body. You have to be aware of what your body is telling you because your body is giving you intel. Take heed and begin to make those corrections as I have shared with you. Meditation is one of the most powerful things you can ever do. It has multiple benefits. If you have not joined my MAP 4.0 challenge, it's a 70-day challenge. You can still join us right now. If you want to join us right now, right, just say I want to join in the chat room or go to my Instagram and send me a DM. We're meditating every morning for 1 hour. Every morning for 1 hour. The testimonies have been profound. If you want to join our MAP 4.0 70-day challenge, send a message and say, I am interested. Right? If you're on YouTube or on podcast and you're hearing me, go to my Instagram at Lanre Olusola, the catalyst, and send me a message that you are interested in my MAP 4.0 challenge. The fourth step to overcoming sabotage is observe the pattern or observe the pattern. Sabotage is very, very predictable. Now, for you to be able to predict, you have to ask a few questions. First question, when does it usually show up? Second question, what type of progress triggers my sabotage? Third question, what do I usually do next? So you have to ask this question because sabotage is very predictable. So observe your own patterns. Ask, when does it usually show up? What type of progress triggers it? And what do I usually do next after it is triggered? Patterns reveal emotional memory loops. The client that I shared with you about noticed that she didn't quit at the beginning. She quit when success felt the realest, when she was about to hold it, when she was about to catch it, when she was about to enter into it, when she was about to manifest it. Observation restores choice and power. Hey, I love that. Number 5, the fifth step is tell your inner self the truth. Tell your inner self the truth. Behind every sabotaging behavior is a lie. It's a bloody lie. I'll give you an example. If I succeed, I will lose my friends. If I am visible, people will attack me on social media. If I finish, I will be judged by people. If I win, I will later fail in life. Bloody lie. Perhaps these things have happened to other people, but it's never happened to you. Even if it's happened to you in the past, it hasn't happened to you in recent time. So, if I win, I'll fail later. You cannot predict that. That's a lie. If I finish, I will be judged. You cannot predict that. That's a lie. If I'm visible, I'll be attacked. You cannot predict that. All of these three are something that will happen in the future. You cannot predict it. If I succeed, I will lose my friends. That is a bloody lie. Cognitive behavioral therapy shows that beliefs drive our behaviors. So expose the lie and the behavior becomes weak. Expose the lie and the behavior becomes weak. Tell your inner self the truth. Expose the lie and get rid of it, man. The sixth step is E. Establish identity safety. Establish true identity safety. People sabotage when their identity is unstable. If success threatens how you see yourself, you will unconsciously reject that success. Identity safety means saying, I am safe being consistent. I am safe being visible. I am safe being successful. I am safe being responsible. Success must be allowed. Success must be given permission at every point in time. Success must feel like you've given it permission. This is why identity work precedes goal setting. If you haven't listened to my podcast or my message on goal setting versus identity setting, you want to go get it. That's right. Goal setting versus identity setting. Honestly, only 8% of people achieve their goals year in, year out, and 92% fail every year. Why? Because they haven't aligned their identity setting with their goal setting protocols. The seventh step to stopping yourself from stopping yourself is you use gentle action. Violent change creates resistance, but small, consistent action builds trust with the nervous system. It is called Kaizen. Small, consistent, and progressive action. Research shows that habits change, and also that habit change sticks when steps are small. Habit change sticks when pressure is low. Habits change stick when consistency is rewarded. Habits can change. You can change your old limiting, disempowering habits, but habits change, right? They stick. When you want to change your habit, it sticks when the steps are smaller. When you can achieve one small step, then the next small steps. Habits, when you want to change them, they stick when the pressure is low, no stress. They stick when you reward consistency and commitment. Momentum returns when progress feels like you can manage it. So break it into chunkable, manageable, small bits. That's right. Use gentle action strategies. Number 8, R, reinforce your progress. Reward your progress. Your brain needs proof. So celebrate when you complete a small task, reward yourself for it, and affirm yourself. Celebrate every time you follow through with a task and you achieve what you want to achieve. Reward yourself for it. Celebrate consistency. Reward yourself for it and affirm yourself. Celebrate courage every time you show up and you do it afraid. Celebrate yourself. Reward yourself and affirm yourself. When this happens, you release what we call dopamine. And dopamine is a very powerful reinforcer for our behaviors. Celebration and reward makes success familiar. What you reinforce, you will always repeat. And the last step is S, sustain alignment. The final step is about maintenance. You have already done the rest. And what you want to do is to regularly ask yourself these questions. Am I aligned or am I avoiding? Am I acting from safety or fear or courage? Am I expanding or am I contracting or retreating? Sabotage returns when alignment drifts. Alignment sustains momentum. And it is therefore very important for us to get into the state of freedom. And freedom is about self trust. Freedom is about momentum. Freedom is about stability. If you've been asking, why does this keep happening to me? It will end when you stop fighting yourself and you start understanding yourself. The conversation is not about motivation. The conversation is about liberation. And once self sabotage is exposed, momentum and success become inevitable. Self sabotage doesn't end through force, it ends through awareness, it ends through safety, it ends through identity alignment, it ends through commitment, consistency, and discipline. When the saboteur is exposed, momentum and success becomes natural to you. Let me end by asking you, right, to write down 3 things that you're going to do differently from today to stop the saboteur from stopping you on your path to progress and success. So let us wrap it up with 3 powerful things that we're going to do differently. 3 powerful things that we're going to do differently. And on that note, we're going to call it a wrap. Make sure that you like, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that you share this message with everybody that you know. Shalom.
I am successful. I look for and find opportunities where others see nothing. I am a lifetime learner. I am solution focused. I see only solutions. I am a solution.